Okay, since the original live stream was deciding to be an absolute piece of crap towards the end, to do part 2. So here we are. As I was saying, I'm going to have to go back to show you what is left. So here's the house before the roof failed. Now, all of these photos that I'm showing now were sent to me by Nick the Dominator. So again, thank you so much, Nick. This helps out a lot. So this is the Hogan house, probably around 2008, 9, or 10. It was shortly before the roof began to fail. I don't know why, but it looks like between 2010 and 2012, something major happened, which caused the roof to cave in badly in the center. It's a house that's in Lexington, Georgia that I'm photographing. It's the same one that is the thumbnail for this live stream. Except it's almost 10 years later. Yes. So this is the house in 08, 09, or 10. It's somewhere around in that point, because this is before the roof began to fail and cave in. And keep in mind, to whoever is interested in this house, as of 2020, this house is 170 years old, despite not having a roof. So that's pretty damn remarkable that it's been able to remain intact without a roof or any sort of flooring inside whatsoever. So yeah. Here's the house probably around late 2012, early 2013. This is when the roof started to really kick the bucket. In other words, you can see the overhang is starting to fail and fall inwards. The A-frame part of the roof and attic is falling inward. And you can see the roof and ceiling have caved into the upper bedrooms. I think that's what all of what would have been up there was the upper bedrooms. Keep in mind, today, all of this, the roof, the overhang, even the pillars, all of that's gone. It's literally just the second and first floor. That's all that's left. The second floor windows, first floor, the attic kitchen in the back, that's all that's left. The overhang, pillars, and roof. And now both chimneys are gone. The chimney on the left had already long since collapsed. It probably collapsed due to the roof falling on it. But you can see it's starting to cave. This was probably 2013 or 14. You can see the A-frame is starting to go. Probably the only thing that was keeping it up was whatever roofing boards were still in place, and even those were giving out slowly. And you can see more deterioration. You can see, as evident by the lights in the windows, that's not electricity, that's sunlight from the hole in the roof. This is where the house probably was declared a total loss. Because once the roof got to this state, once the roof gets to this state in any home, there's no saving it, no matter how old or how new. Probably 2015 or so, the whole A-frame is gone. All that's left of the overhang is that little bit there, and you can see already stuff is starting to fall from it. You can see parts of the second floor there. You can see walls that would have made up the hallway leading to this doorway here. That's all gone now. That's all collapsed down into the first floor. You've got all of this. You can see more debris there. Here's the house probably, I think, in I'm only able to guess at the years, but this is how I remember it. Because I've seen this house collapse. I've never stopped, though, when it was going through the process, which I should regret now. As you can see, now it looks sort of how it looks today. The only difference is it still has the two edges of the overhang that I mentioned earlier. Remember where I said in the previous stream, the areas that were unpainted, that's where these parts were. You can see parts of the roof there, bits of the overhang that have collapsed. Parts of that are still there. They've just taken out the steel poles. The chimney has since collapsed, but you can see the other chimney on this side has already fallen. I don't know, again, I don't know if it completely collapsed into like a pile, or if it broke in two and the top half fell. I don't know. That's yet to be seen, but I'd imagine it either collapsed at the base or the top half collapsed and then collapsed the whole thing. But I'll look in these other photos that show the inside in a minute, because I think I saw brick piles. I can't be sure, but I think I saw them. There's a later photo of the house in its current state. There's a bedroom. And there's another photo of the house that Nick sent me. This is probably around 2007. Probably. Early 2000, it's probably between 2008 or 2010. At least 2 or 3 years before the roof failed. And here's what one of the bedrooms would have looked like on the second floor. You can see the wallpaper and whatnot. I think, actually, up to the day the roof fell in, some of this wallpaper was still in the house, believe it or not. Now, there's one photo that he showed that showed a great sunset. Here's the stairwell inside the house, and this is, keep in mind, I'll let you know this was after the roof caved in. You can see a ray of sunlight coming through. This is on the first floor. All right, this is the first floor of the house. You can see the hallway that would have led back to the kitchen. You've got a stairwell here going up. Now, here's a better view of it. Now, here is where a light fixture was hanging. Now, there's photos of this exact same stairwell back when the house was lived in. Shows the light fixture, and I believe these are the same curtains, the exact same ones. But as you can see, there's evidence that the second floor, even by this point, had already begun to collapse. And you can also see serious water damage there. Here's another photo. You can see there's the overhang there above the stairs. So up here is the hallway, the central hallway that leads out to that little balcony that you've seen in my pictures. That doorway in the balcony would have entered into this hallway right here. Now, there's another photo of the house. There's the roof segment that would have hung over these steel pole supports. That probably was, from what I can tell, was most likely hauled off. There is no evidence that it decayed where it sat. There's no evidence of that at all. Another early photo of the home, you can see that was taken much earlier. The reason I say that is because now there's 2 trees growing around in this spot. So this was taken probably in the early 2000s, probably the mid-2000s, 2005 or 6. I'm only guessing at this, but you can see chimney number 1, chimney number 2 still intact. There's another photo of the house with daffodils, and keep in mind, that's close to the same angle as one of my pictures of the house with the daffodil, mind you. Okay, here is the inside. From what I can see, I'm seeing bricks right there, so that means the first chimney completely collapsed. It probably caved in on itself because you can see the chimney pile there. So if the house does rot away completely, those bricks will still be there. They'll probably be buried, but they'll be there. And there is, right there, there's the doorway. That is the same doorway that leads out to that balcony right there. That's the same door, okay? Here's that same hallway. The stairs would have been probably around here, because you've got what looks to be because you have what looks like, or what might have been a closet that would have been underneath the stairwell. You can see the doorway there, some of the windows there. a doll, which I think someone played a cruel joke with later. Now here is that exact same doorway from a few photos prior. Here's that same doorway, probably 20 to 30 years earlier during Christmas. There's another room in the house. I don't know if that's on the first floor or the second floor, but that wallpaper was still inside the house when Decay Was Headed Your Way went there. Or Decay Is Headed Your Way went there. And you can see the pattern. There's the house at Christmas time. I mean, look at that. That's so pretty. Take note, though. All of the bushes you see and all, those are gone. Those were gone by the time the home was abandoned. But yeah, there's the same stairwell after the home was abandoned. There it is when it was lived in. Now, here is the inside, and there's that chimney. And as you can see, it's of a design that had what looks to be a dual chimney. In other words, one that was made to where you could have fireplaces in each room. You have one on that side and what looks like a mantle on the other side. And it almost looks like that also was what gave central support to the house. And here you can see all of the second floor has just completely caved in. I mean, you can see there's a door that's probably rotted away now. Like, see, if the door is still there, which I highly doubt, that could probably be saved, but I doubt that. Also, take note, there's a power line right there. So that means everything from the electrical wiring to any kind of plumbing all collapsed. Now there's that photo of the house as it looked pretty much. This is basic. In other words, this is a photo of the house as probably the most recent photo of the home. I say that because it still looked like this past August before the storm knocked down everything else that was standing, like the chimney, for instance. There's another view looking up. Again, there's the doorway. There's where the wall for that bedroom once stood. You can see basically how the walls were laid out. So you would have had a hallway here, a central hallway, coming up the stairs. Now that does look like where the staircase would have been. I don't know though, but judging by where the door is, that looks like exactly where the staircase would have been. There probably would have been room for a closet underneath the stairwell. So that gives me an idea of where the stairs would have been. So you would have walked up on the left side, and you would have ended up on the second floor. Now take note, y'all. There is the part of the house that currently is bowing outwards. It's that span right there, that part of the frame. You can see there and there where the original inner wood layer is. That was where the walls were put in for each room, right there and there. And you can see above parts of the roof and ceiling. There's the chimney. Here's another view. And here is the evidence that the chimney on the left side completely collapsed. There's a chimney pile right there. So I'm starting to wonder if if that was due to natural decay or due to somebody coming in and thinking it'd be a good idea to take a sledgehammer to the chimney. Probably one of the two. I don't know. But you can see how the flooring was built there. You would have had smaller pieces of wood underneath, and you would have laid whatever flooring you want, whether it be hardwood, tile, linoleum. You'd lay that on top of that. But I love how you can see the drywall, where the drywall is, and then you can see where the walls would have been. Heck, actually, that isn't even the floor. I actually think that is the wall right there. Whether it was for the room on the right or the room on the left, I don't know. But you can see that all those twisted boards might have been the actual supports for the second floor. Which means whatever land floor was heavy enough to completely destroy the supporting beams for the floors. So if I ever did go inside the house, there'd probably just be a mass of rotting timbers and collapsed brick. Most likely. Excuse me. Here's another view of the house. I don't know what room. But you can see there was curtains still on the windows. So this is the first floor here, and there is where the second floor was, right there, where those joints are. That's where the wood floor supports would have been. There's what's left of the second floor dangling there precariously. You can see the door frame has begun to collapse. You can see that because it's all bending inward in an angle. There's a doorway to nowhere. There's the upper floor. There's another view of the house. There's part of a wall there. There's a part of a room. That's all gone now. And that's it. So, yeah. Also, Nick, is that you? I can't tell. But, yeah. Hey, normal commenter, how are you? Hey, Ann, Alice, Aiden. Oh, dang. Bonnie, I'm so sorry about that, man. I'm so sorry about that. But, yeah, I did ask before you got... I'm pretty sure y'all are wondering, Donovan, what... Let me find the picture. Let me find the picture of the stairwell. There was the reason I'm trying to say that is that right there. I asked Nick what happened to this light fixture and if it was saved. From what he told me, the glass part of this light fixture still exists. He doesn't know who owns it, but he knew it was saved. So I'm guessing most likely the person who owns the house or the last people who lived in it got it when they moved. Either that or someone got it out after the home was abandoned. One of the two. I don't know. I've played Where Road Meets the Rails. But, yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Unless Nick has more photos of the inside or the exterior in earlier years. That's pretty much it. So, I will see y'all later.